The idea behind Team Wilder is that we need to create a social shift where many more people are on nature's side. The idea stems from social science, where we know that if 1 in 4 people can take meaningful, consistent and visible action, then it starts to create a social tipping point where lots more people get involved. We know we need more people on nature's side if we're going to turn this crisis around.
Hello, my name is Dawn O'Malley. I'm the Wilder Communities Manager and I work with a team of community organisers who work on various Team Wilder projects. In Southampton, we have just finished a partnership project that was working with communities along the green grid within the City Council's area. And our project officer, Jill Doubleday, has worked really hard over the last 2 years engaging residents with their own projects to restore corridors, create pollinator patches and connect people with nature within the city.
Okay, so I'm Jill Doubleday. I'm the Wilder Southampton Communities Officer. And Victoria Road, Woolston was really one of the first projects that I started as part of my job because I live in this local area, so I'd seen it and I saw the potential for it. It got started with a lot of support from different people, which was, there's a group called Plants for People, a lottery funded group who came along and helped with the first planting day. I was able to get a friend of mine who's an urban sketcher to come along and record the first planting day of the bed behind me outside Cookies. And that was really a good start. And Duncan from Plants for People gave me the great advice of just get started on something, people will see something happening and people start talking to you, and they did. Because at that point we'd probably only got 2 or 3 volunteers. And more people started to get involved. And when Lynn got involved particularly, she proved to be a very good organiser of volunteers and getting lots of other people involved, talking to more shops. The shops started to get more interested, and then they all started to get involved with helping with the watering, getting the agreements from the City Council, donating plants, and it's really developed into an amazing sense of community. I've been absolutely astonished at how successful it has been.
The garden out here, this bed just outside the front here, was sky high in weeds, looked an absolute mess, really did, along with the other 5 beds as well. Anyway, Jill explained to me what the wildlife project was about, and basically I was happy to go with that because I thought, yes, we need something done with the bed. So it all started simply because I offered to water the beds. Didn't know what I was letting myself in for, but hey presto. So I offered to water the beds, which then led on to needing to adopt the beds from the council so we could do what we wanted to do. So that's how it started. So thanks to Jill for that, we now have 6 established wildlife beds and an edible garden, which is wonderful. The vision for the shop anyway, which was really good that you popped in, was because what I wanted to create when I opened this shop was to build a stronger community. That's why we're called Cookies Crafts Community Hub. And that's exactly what it's doing, because people walk by, they stand out there, they talk about the flowers, they might then come into the shop and then they're asking who does that, and word of mouth gets out. I can see from where I'm based here, seeing everybody out there, strangers talking together. I've seen people with their children, and there's one young man sat his little boy next to the bug house, took his photograph. Do you know what I mean? Little things like that are what build, that's what builds the community. It's not only been good for the Southampton Wildlife Project, but it's also been good for Cookies Crafts, because that's also helped, and I'm here to help as many people as I can. It's not just about the garden, although this is part of it. I'm also able to help other crafters, other traders, offer workshops. And the garden's always become a talking point, because people want to know, how come we've got such beautiful gardens in Woolston and nowhere else?
I got involved because I've lived in Woolston a big part of my life, and I objected to it not looking as good as it could be. It was Wilder that introduced us to the fact we could actually adopt these gardens. And then with that introduction, I said, not just one garden, it's got to be all of them. Because if it's only one, it's a drop in the ocean. If it's all, everybody realises we're serious. Just this morning, we've been here 3/4 of an hour. We have had, I've counted this time, 5 people actually come up, have a conversation with us, say how much they love the gardens, everything. I have made a lot of lovely new friends, which is important to me. I'm retired, you know, so I want to be part of the world. As far as the people that walk by and praise us, and there's so many, everyone loves to be told they're doing something well. Everyone loves praise, and they do. And not only do they do it once, but they make a point of coming when they know we're gardening.
So I'm Lucy Wildman, and I am the manager of Fair Place Animal Rescue Charity Shop. Just behind me. I'm also chairwoman of the Wilson Traders Association. So I actually moved here February last year, and since I've been here, I personally feel that Wilson's got a brilliant sense of community, and that sadly is overshadowed sometimes by the less desirable aspects. But I've personally just found it to be very, very welcoming, very much about people wanting to get involved with things to uplift the town, and this garden project has definitely been a massive, massive factor in that. It's definitely invoked so much conversation, definitely with people sort of coming into our shop. They sort of say how lovely the road looks. We've definitely seen an increase over the last quarter in the amount of people that we've had in, and I definitely do feel that the gardens are a contribution towards that for sure.
People stop and look the whole time. I've seen grandparents bringing their grandchildren down and specifically showing them and talking about the different things that we grow. I've seen older people who just love to just stop and look and obviously interact with us as well. And I think it's raised the spirit of the road because at the beginning we weren't sure whether it would get vandalised, to put it quite bluntly. You just do not know. And we've not had any examples of damage being done, which I think is quite something when we've got 6 beds. It's introduced me to a completely new group of people. I didn't know anybody. When I first read that note in a local community magazine that said that they were looking to do something about the beds. So that's been a really positive thing to meet all these new people. And there's probably about 10 of us at different times, so that's quite a lot of people to actually, be introduced to and come to work with.
Team Wilder's got off to a brilliant start with thousands of people already taking part, and momentum is building, and we're creating ripples of change throughout communities. So my hope is that we can continue to grow this idea so that we've got people up and down the counties taking action for nature in their streets, in their communities, and really helping to tip that balance for wildlife, influencing decision makers, creating green spaces, and just doing more and more so that we can truly start to put nature into recovery. That is my hope, and we're on to a really good start.